Welcome back to the Pull Podcast. I am your host, Big Jack. Today with us, we have King Crooked, aka Crooked Eye. If you're as old as I am, that's how I know you, right? I mean, that's how it started. Now it's King Crooked, as the young people probably know. Mm-hmm. The Slaughterhouse Days. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
I love it, man. And I can't wait to hear a little bit more about you. So on this podcast, we deal with real stories, raw struggles, powerful comebacks and stuff. Hyper focused around addiction and things, but, you know, a lot of comeback stories too, right? We want to motivate people. We want people to be engaged and know that it's never too late to turn your life around, right? You know, trying to spread some positivity, which it sounds like that's where you're at in your life as well. And so if you wouldn't mind, maybe, I know you got into the rap game super early, talented lyricist.
Right.
And kind of want to hear a little bit about maybe when drugs and alcohol might have been introduced into your story. Because if I'm not mistaken, you're about 10 years sober now?
Yes. Going on 10 years. I actually posted something. I was reposting somebody else's triumph, I call it, their victory of being 10 years sober.
Sure.
And everybody thought that it was me today, but I'm actually 9 years sober, and I'll be 10 years February 9th.
Congratulations.
Yes, sir.
I love that you know the date. That's important.
Yes, sir, it is. Yes, sir, it is.
That's awesome.
Okay, well, it really goes back to my father.
Okay.
My father was a Navy vet. He did a few tours in Vietnam. He saw a lot of action, and he came home, and he didn't get the welcome he wanted.
Did he come back like a different person?
He came back a little different. You know what I'm saying? That's what my mom and different people, because I was a kid. Mm-hmm. By the time I came into the world, he was already who he was, post Vietnam.
Right.
You feel me?
That's your memory of him.
Yeah. He was already who he was post Vietnam. But, people in the family, they said, it changed him. And I totally understand that. You go to war, you change. When he came back, I think he didn't feel like America was too kind to him. It was hard for him to get work. One of those stories. The stories that no veteran who puts their life on the line and fights for our country should ever have to tell.
Right. He was just doing his job.
Just doing his job. He come back. So pretty soon he picks the bottle up. Mm-hmm. And that's what I remember is him drinking and promising, me, my brother, at the time, because we were the only two at the time, promising us everything, That was the only time he was in a good mood. Mm-hmm. Is when he was drinking or watching a TV show called MASH.
I remember that show.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the only time he was in a good mood. And I saw him drink. So I didn't never want to drink, bro.
It had the opposite effect originally.
Yes. Originally, I never wanted to drink. Fast forward, get into the rap industry. Alcohol flows freely. Mm-hmm. Everywhere you go, it's available to you. When you go to do a show, they tell you to write down everything you want backstage. Mm-hmm. They call that a rider. So you write down, hey, I want vodka, whiskey, tequila, champagne, and turkey sandwiches. Yeah. And it's back there. Voila. Like magic.
Sure.
Like magic. And boom, that's back there freely.
And the best stuff too, right?
The top shelf.
Yeah.
Yo, listen, top shelf. Okay. I'm talking about Don Julio 1942.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Don P.
Black Label, Johnny Walker. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
The good scotch.
All the good stuff. So you're getting that for free. You drink that, you go on stage, you have a blast. You go back to your hotel and your suite is comped by the promoter and you have a bar in your suite. More drinking. You wake up, you got to get up early in the morning and do a radio program, a morning show, a morning music show.
To promote whatever's going on.
To promote whatever's going on. You get up, you say, hey, let me take the edge off.
Ooh. Hair of the dog.
I had a wild night last night on stage doing this concert. Let me take the edge off a little bit. I'll drink some coffee. I might throw some rum in there. Mm-hmm. and I'll be ready for this interview with this morning station since I've only had 3 or 4 hours of sleep. You're also tearing your body up because you're not even sleeping.
Right.
So then you take the edge off. You're like, all right, cool. Boom. You do this interview, goes well. It's like, okay, so now we're going to go have a meeting with some people that want you on the soundtrack. They want to meet over drinks around 8.
Pre-gaming already.
And the cycle just goes on and on and on. And pretty soon, if you get a buzz and people start to know who you are, that's when you get a knock on the door from liquor brands. And they say, hey, we'll send you a case of whatever you want.
Just shout us out.
Just shout us out. It's a vicious cycle.
Yeah, I could only imagine. I mean, I had to pay for mine, but if I didn't have to pay for mine, that would have been even uglier.
Oh, and it gets even uglier when you go on tour because now you're on a bus.
Yeah.
You're not responsible.
You get chauffeured everywhere you go.
You're getting chauffeured everywhere you go. So what are you doing? Twist the cap.
Mm-hmm.
Twist it open. Let's get it. Rock stars. That's what we were taught. We always thought that,
that's just what everybody does.
This is what everybody does. This is what everybody does. So it was very, and I was a late bloomer.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't start drinking until I was like 24.
Do you actually remember a time when you got drunk and you were like, I love this?
Yeah. I got drunk on a plane on Cristal and Jack Daniels. So I started off on dark liquor. I was a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
I started off on dark liquor.
That's a tough place to start.
And then and then thought I could just go to the bubbly the same night. And it was like,
stay down.
It was like, nah.
Yeah.
So now I'm in the airport vomiting and doing all this stuff. And my homeboys are carrying me on the plane and I can hear voices behind me saying, that's all right. Let them. That's what we're here for. We're here to support.
Unreal.
And it's like, you're really enabling. But I will take the support because it's better than being laid out on a carpet at LAX. You know what I mean?
Or arrested because you just fumbling everywhere.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean,
now, we could talk about the arrest later.
I don't know if we'll have enough time. I hope we have enough time.
But yeah, bro, it was a big cycle, and drinking, when I first started, I felt like I grew up off and on. We were in extreme poverty, my family. So I felt like at first I need incredible discipline to get us out of this situation. I have to be in control of my mind.
That's interesting. I wonder if that's something that you felt or that other people feel as well. I can't speak on it. I don't think I grew up in poverty, but at the same time, like, especially if your dad's not around and you're like, I got to man up and take care of business, right? And now all of a sudden you can hyper focus on what needs to be done. I wonder if that's a survival tactic that gets put into place. Did it feel like a survival tactic? Yeah.
Yeah. I was in survival mode, and you're right. It's kind of like that grit that they teach at Harvard Business School.
Right.
But it's being taught in the hood by circumstances.
Doesn't matter how you learn it.
Don't matter how you learn it. And it was like, I have to be super disciplined and focused to get my family out of this environment. So I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't smoke weed. I wouldn't drink. I just wrote my music, networked, met people, recorded. I just worked around the clock until I got my shot. And then I was prepared because I worked around the clock.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but then once you got there, that's when all the temptation starts coming in, huh?
Yeah, when I got there, the temptation started coming in. And I think what really did it is I found out that show business wasn't what I thought it would be.
It sounds ugly.
They kind of shattered my dreams.
It looks glamorous. It sounds ugly.
Exactly. It looks good from far away.
Mm-hmm.
Good from far. But up close is far from good.
Yeah.
And yeah, that right there kind of tipped the scales a little. Okay. Like, okay, this is nothing. These people a lot of fake, phony people, a lot of cutthroat people, and you got to get used to swimming with the sharks real quick.
Sure. Everybody's looking for a come up, right? And especially if you're the one that's going to be selling records and doing all that, they're going to target you.
They're going to target you, and they're going to steal your material. They're going to steal your money. They're going to try to steal your opportunities. They're going to try to steal your relationships. If they can just get in a car with you and ride to the studio with you, when you go to the bathroom, they're going to say, hey, man, I'm a better artist than that guy. And you're just, they're trying to steal everything from you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I would imagine
heart and soul.
It sounds like a breeding ground of resentment too.
Yeah, people resent each other, but you have to wear a mask, especially in public. It was becoming harder and harder for me to watch how fans treated certain artists, producers, and record executives, knowing that behind the scenes they were scumbags.
Do you remember at what age you were when you felt like you could do this for a living?
16.
Okay.
My mom was real supportive, and I really love her for. I was 8 years old the first time she paid money to put me in a recording studio. That right there, no matter what was going on in my life, my mom always supported my musical dreams, and that meant the world to me.
Yeah. Almost like you didn't want to let her down, right?
I did not want to let her down.
Yeah, there's probably some added pressure there, but good pressure.
Good pressure. Good pressure. You know, pressure make diamonds. Yeah, so 16 years old, I get a phone call from my cousin Sauce. Shout out to Sauce the Boss.
Sauce the Boss. I hear you shout him out in your lyrics all the time.
My cousin Sauce is hanging around.
I didn't know it was your cousin. That's cool.
Another one of our friends, his name is Paperboy. And Paperboy makes a song called Diddy. Woo! And
to this day, I rock that.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
And Diddy was very successful.
Very.
You can do the Diddy if you want to, because then I'm going to know if I want you. Yeah, come on, man. So
do the Diddy, did it.
If you exactly. So he does that song. He gets that song popping. And my cousin Sauce, he calls me. He says, yo, this rap thing is for real. No, it's not a joke. He's getting checks. So I'm like, I'm coming over there. So I go South Central and I go meet him. And lo and behold, he has a new car, new clothes. He's counting stacks and stacks of money. I said, oh, I got to get me some of this. And then that's when I started taking it very serious. And let me tell you something. I'm a very grateful person. When I was young, sometimes, and I said this same exact thing to Snoop Dogg. I told him that I didn't know how blessed I was because I was in the moment and I wasn't really taking a step back and saying, wait a minute. I am 16 years old talking to a platinum rapper about how to get in the game, getting direct information from somebody who just sold 1 million singles.
Sure. Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, you get the game, the playbook.
Get the playbook. And by the time I'm 17 and a half, I'm getting an independent deal. By the time I'm 18, I'm already in the studio sitting down with Snoop Dogg.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And he was at the height of his career too.
Yeah, he's going crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's selling like hotcakes. There's lines around the corner. See, the kids today, they just have the convenience of downloading songs off of streaming platforms and all that good stuff. But back in the day, you had to get in a line. You had to catch a bus or get a ride or drive down to the record store, stand in line and show your devotion to this artist and really wrap that line around the corner. And that thing might be 2 hours before you get in there and get that new album from Snoop Dogg. But he had it like that. He was going crazy. And by the time I was 18, I was already in the studio with Snoop and didn't understand. And then when I met Tupac, you know, that same year, my first time meeting Tupac, I'm sitting on the couch and him and Snoop are making Ain't Nothing But a Gangsta Party. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, yeah, we're going to do a
classic.
We're going to do a St. Ives commercial to this beat. And I said, oh, you going to do a St. Ives commercial? There's, the popular beer brand from back then. And I was like, oh, okay. So I'm sitting there and they're coming up with the lyrics and they're doing it. Next thing I know, I go home and I'm watching TV and the commercial comes on and it's Snoop and Tupac rapping this St. Ives stuff on that beat. Doom, doom. I'm like, dog, I was right there when they made that. You know how blessed you have to be in the room as a young artist with Tupac and Snoop Dogg.
I could only imagine. I feel blessed right now with you in the room.
I appreciate that.
Sure.
Dog. Yeah. So I'm like, yo, this is serious.
Mm-hmm.
Went to Snoop's house. This dude's house was so laid out, bro. You gotta remember, I'm coming from the east side of Long Beach. We stayed in a studio apartment. It was like 7 people in there. One would leave. Good. It's 6 people now. We got a little more elbow room. 5 people now. As everybody, got ahead and got out of there, it's like you get a little more room. But I stayed in a studio apartment, man. You know what I'm saying? And it was a lot of people in there. And I felt like I was crowding people's space. And
Snoop's house probably like 10,000 square feet, 20,000 square feet.
Bro, first of all, when you walk over to his door, there's a bridge you have to cross over a pond with koi fish and all. I'm like, what?
Those koi fish are probably worth more than my car.
Yeah, dog. Hey, and then in the back, he has the full basketball court, UCLA basketball court in the backyard, and people getting on intercoms to talk to the person in the West Wing. Hey, come over here. We got something to eat. I'm like, yo, dog. This right here,
I need to do this.
I said, he got all this from opening up his notebook and writing rhymes in there. Oh, yeah, I'm doing this.
This segment of the Pull Podcast is brought to you by Creekside Recovery. You're 18, 19. At what point do you make your first big deal?
Well, the first deal I had was with Muscle Records. It was an independent deal. It wasn't a crazy amount of money, but it put me in the game. 2 football players from Long Beach, Chucky Miller and Leonard Russell, they made it to the league, you know what I mean? And they came back and they wanted to do something to give back to the community. So they built a studio and they started, an independent label, and they saw interest in me, signed me to my first, a contractual deal, my first time taking the ink pen and signing my name and getting a check and saying, okay, you're a professional rap artist now.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
it was like, boom. All right. Now that was very big to me. And then after that, I ended up going to Virgin Records, which is a major. When I went to Virgin Records, that was a 6-figure deal. So now we're talking 6 figures as a youngin', and that's the beginning of seeing how the industry operates.
But alcohol wasn't introduced yet.
Nope, because I'm still like, I have to stay focused. Look how far I came by being disciplined. Why would I want to wreck that? Then I got to Death Row Records.
Suge signed you, right?
Yeah, and it was time to take a drink.
Whew. And then everything changed a little bit?
Everything changed.
Yeah.
Everything changed.
It wasn't all bad in the beginning, right? But eventually.
No. It wasn't all bad. Like, Death Row Records taught me a lot. It wasn't like what Suge, he was still in jail when I first signed to Death Row. I had to go up to the penitentiary.
That's wild.
Yeah. He was okay. So if you remember, he went to jail. Him and Tupac getting an altercation with a guy in Las Vegas on camera. Mm-hmm. Suge is already on probation, and they violated him for what they say he did on camera, kick some dude or something like that, right? Rest in peace, that guy. I think it was that guy. But he had like 2 more years to do when I came over. So I went up to the penitentiary in Ione, and he was doing time in Mule Creek. And I sat with him and we spoke about the record deal, and we said, let's do it. And, I was like, all right, cool, let's go. So I signed to Death Row. I made a lot of music. there was a lot of people in the streets who didn't like Death Row Records.
Sure. At that point,
Didn't like the artist, didn't like the name, didn't like the label, wanted to shoot you, kill you, kidnap you, beat you up, take your chain from you. They just wanted to do a lot of terrible things. And I came across a lot of those people, you know, so it was I had to become even more of what I saw on my block. I had to, you know, the things that we were running away from, I had to kind of embrace to survive, and just defending yourself with street issues flying around.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was crazy. It was crazy. Okay. It was crazy.
That must have caused a lot of anxiety too. And a nice little fuel for the alcoholism too, right?
Oh yeah.
You know,
That was because people were threatening me weekly. People I don't know half the time, people that I used to know, people that want to get brownie points from enemies of Suge,
Sure.
you know, Suge's, you know what I mean? Like just all of these situations. Now, when Suge got out, we were making music, we were traveling to New York, we were traveling to Hawaii, we were going all over the place. And, you know, we were trying to really bring that label back. But on the flip side, my experience, you know, I'm not going to speak on anybody else's experiences. I'm just going to speak on mine. I got into it with some real deal hitters because I was affiliated with Death Row. And some of the people from my city did not like the fact that Snoop had left Death Row and I was doing business with Death Row.
gotcha.
So in my own city, I had people.
Because you guys are both from Long Beach.
Yeah, we're both from Long Beach. So it was just a lot, man. And, you know, I'm a young guy. I'm just trying to make music, you know, but I'm getting pulled into some things and I got to survive them. So, you know, did what we had to do. But that cranberry and vodka started rolling
Yes, sir.
because I'm like, I want to make music. I'm not being able to make music because there's a lot of different entities that want to blackball the situation. They don't want Death Row to rise again, because when Death Row was on top, they were running the game.
Yeah. And now they're getting blackballed.
And now they're getting blackballed. So when you get a deal, man, and you're young, you think that you hit a home run, but you're really just on first base. There's so much more that you have to do.
That's so well put.
You have to do so much more to bring it home. And, you know, when you're in that mindset of, hey, I hit a home run, what's going on? I can't put my albums out. People don't want me. Dude, I would go to concerts and people would be like, hey, man, you can't come in. Just me by myself. You can't come in, man. They don't want nobody from Death Row Records at this concert.
Who booked it?
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo. So it was just so much, but people would follow me around. You know, I would get notes on my car. It was just crazy, bro. Like, I would get into fights with people, all kind of stuff. So it was like, go, go, go.
And then it's gone. Then all that fear, all that whatever. And then, I don't know, for me, it was a lot of liquid courage too, right?
Yeah.
You know, it helped me face my problems.
Bro, I'm very blessed to be sitting here because I was drinking with a bulletproof vest and 2 P89 Rugers, drinking Jameson. And that combination, okay, you get encouraged from the Jameson. What do you think the bulletproof vest and the Rugers are giving you?
Yeah.
They give you even more courage.
License to say whatever the fuck you want to whoever you want.
And that's what I did.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I did.
Well, you were young. You probably didn't know better, right? And,
Yeah, I mean, I was mad.
well, I bet.
And I exercised so much discipline over the years.
Right.
And I felt like, oh, this industry doesn't reward discipline. This industry rewards ignorance. And I really felt that way.
Yeah, no, I believe it. I actually think it still exists today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, look at the algorithm. It's crazy what they promote. If I put up a positive message on my Instagram, I get 50 likes. If I say something negative, I get 5,000 likes.
It just doesn't add up, man. It's like whatever sells, they don't even care, right?
They don't even care. So it's like if you feel like the world doesn't care, then you can start feeling like, hey, I don't care either.
Ooh. There's your permission, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you did?
And that's what I did. And I was drinking to the head, bro. And I was stumbling into places, getting out of expensive cars, stumbling in the clubs with one of my homies, and he's drunk too. And we're off point, and we got on diamonds around our neck and Rolex watches on, and we just look like a robbery waiting to happen. Somebody's going to throw us a surprise party at any moment, and we're not going to like the gifts. And we just did it. And it was like, hey, you know what? Okay, this is strike number one. Because I was just at a party that was thrown by known street guys. And I was in there, not on point, buzzing, and having money and jewelry.
Yeah. Yeah, you were a lick.
I was a lick. And I was like, oh, I can't do that. I can't go out like that.
Anything could have happened, right? So like your whole life could have changed. I forget who we were talking. I think it was Ice-T that was on. We were talking to him, and he always said, I never liked feeling out of control because I felt like I was, giving everybody my back, which is kind of what you were just describing, right? You were putting yourself in precarious situations.
And yes.
And not just that, but like, the fact that you got out of them, you're very lucky, and it only takes one thing to change the trajectory of somebody's life, right? Somebody could have came up, rob you, you shoot them. Like, you're not sitting here having this podcast with me
At all.
Yo,
man, it's like
something's been looking out for you, right?
Well, I always knew that. You know what I mean? I remember when my brother got shot in the car. We got into it with some guys. I was like 14 or 15, and we got into a big squabble. And after the squabble, we jumped in the car. My homie Jimmy G's driving, and he hits a left turn. His carburetor is always acting up. So when he hit that left, the car just cuts off, and we get Swiss cheese. Bullets coming through the door, bullets coming through the window, glass shattering, all this stuff. And my brother's like, I'm hit. I'm like, oh shit, he's gonna die. And all this stuff is going on. And when we got out, he got shot, but it was just in his leg. Jimmy G didn't get touched. My cousin Eddie Jr. didn't get touched. I didn't get touched.
But the car
looks crazy. I said, yo, divine intervention is real.
It's real.
It's real. Nobody can ever tell me that that's not real.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So I was like, okay, boom. I have someone looking out for me.
Mm-hmm.
I can't waste that. You know what I mean? I can't waste that. So I think my inner dialogue, and we have to be careful how we talk to ourselves, but I think my inner dialogue was always that the battle within, I think the good side would win it. You know what I'm saying? The good side would be like, yo, nah.
For you.
For me.
Yeah, I was going to say, because
not for everyone.
There's a lot of people that it wouldn't go that way.
No, they wouldn't.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of
negativity out there.
Yes. And there's a lot of money in risk, in danger. So a lot of people like to operate in that area of risk and danger.
Sure.
There's a lot of opportunities and money there, but that's not who I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't want to be that person. So it's like I start drinking, I start catching L's, life lessons and L's. And it's like DUI number 1. I went to the first class drunk.
They kick you out and remand you back to court?
They didn't. Oh. They didn't catch me.
Okay.
They caught somebody in there, though, because they could just come in and breathalyze you at any time.
Yeah, and then you got to go back to court.
And then you got to go back to court to start the whole process over again.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we're in there, and we're watching that show on A&E called Intervention.
Yeah. You should have known at that point you had a problem if you couldn't show up to a DUI class sober.
Bro, I'm drinking Hennessy, driving to the DUI class, taking sips of the Hennessy, it's too much traffic. I get into the carpool lane by myself, drunk. Then I get to the parking lot of the place, and I pull out my buzz kit, gargle up a little scope. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Spray up a little cologne. You know what I'm saying? Pop my chewing gum in. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Put my little shades on.
Think you're fooling everybody.
Fooling your damn self.
Hell yeah.
And you go in there and you sit in the DUI class, and I sit and watch a classroom full of people who don't have one clue how to take accountability. Why are you in here? Man, I bust a U-turn. They pulled me over. Why are you in here? My tints are too dark. Why are you in here? I was playing loud music in a residential area. No, you're in here because you were drinking and driving.
Right. They're all victims in there, though, right? Everybody thinks they're a victim in there. They're like, well, I never do it, and I was, a mile away from my house or whatever it was, and it was like that doesn't justify the offense.
Man, I had somebody tweet me some bars that I said in a song one day. It was something like, now I'm just a sober ass square sitting in the AA in this broken ass chair, listening to the local older cats share horror stories about throwing back Coke and Jack, holding back tears.
I love that.
That was my life.
That's what it did. I mean, mine too. Mine too, for sure. That's wild, man. I don't think I've heard that song. Wherever that lyric is, I need to know.
Yeah, bro. Like, I have a lot.
Unless it was menace to sobriety.
It's not meant. I like it. Man.
Dude, I've been following you your whole career.
That's dope, man.
Yeah, this isn't just a sober thing right here. I mean, as much as like that's what the podcast is about. Right. I'm a legit fan.
I appreciate that, dog.
Yeah.
That's why I do it, man. I just want to connect with people who like the art. That's it. That's it. Yeah, that was on one of the weeklies because I asked him. I said, "Man, where is that from?" He was like, "Yeah, that's one of your weeklies." I was like, "Oh, okay." The second round. I was like, "Cool," but yeah, I went into my phone after I read that and I typed in the word "sober" in my notes.
Is that where you write a lot of your lyrics?
Yeah,
you have them in your phone.
Mm-hmm. I started writing again because I did for years I didn't write. But I started writing again. I typed in the word sober and I saw it come up at least 20 times. So I said, you know what? I've been really thinking about this. And I've been really expressing myself about sobriety.
And this is before you were sober then? No?
Yeah, some of it was before I was sober.
But you were talking about it.
But I mean, of course I had the song with Joe Budden called Sober Up. I don't want to sober up.
That was on one of his mixtapes, right? Mad Music or whatever?
Yeah, some mood music.
Or mood music, that's what it was.
One of them.
All one of 27 there he had.
Yeah, there was a lot of joints on there.
Man, he could go.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I thank God for rap music and me being able to use it as a form of therapy.
Yeah, it's expression.
You know what I mean? I think that's been keeping me together without me even knowing, because I'm a firm believer now in therapy. And I'm like, well, how the hell did I make it this far without therapy? And then I said, oh, rap music.
I mean, it's a form for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the deal. The way I see it, at least, and I could be off, but for me, I would imagine it's very cathartic, right? To even just say it out loud. Saying things out loud, whether you're talking to another alcoholic or a therapist or just even a friend or family member, it kind of solidifies whatever you're saying to yourself too, right? Like, right. I can have inner dialogue all day long, but my inner dialogue will lose to my disease sometimes. But if I'm saying it out loud, it kind of makes it real. Kind of makes it real.
It makes it real.
Like now all of a sudden, like I put it out in the universe and I can't deny it anymore.
You can't deny it. It's there. It exists now outside, like you said. And if we can't control or handle our anger, our frustration, our pain, our trauma, if we can't handle that, those emotions become, the response is addiction. To those emotions. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, since I can't handle it, I'm going to start doing this and drinking and, and stuff like that. So yeah,
What happens if you can't get them out? You become a pressure cooker, you know? It's like, and now all of a sudden, like you're just building it up, and then the explosion, right?
And you can bury things so far and so deep in you that one day your body might just say, okay, you might be good at hiding and masking and pushing things into the farthest corner of the closet, but I'm going to break down on you. Mm-hmm. The body will say, yo, you know what? I can't take it no more.
Yeah, that's called stress, anxiety, whatever, you know, however physiologically it manifests, heart attack, stroke, whatever it is. Like, I mean, I don't think we realize how powerful the brain is, right? And when you're shoving shit so far down in your deep subconscious and all that stuff, it does take a toll. I truly believe that. That's part of like the beauty of being in recovery is once you get it all out, like the freedom almost, right?
Yeah.
And that's like when you have that, I don't have anything to hide anymore.
Yeah. And you know, I had to hit rock bottom sometimes to learn my lessons. And I started to say to myself, I don't want to hit rock bottom to learn lessons anymore. You know what I mean? Like I want to
be proactive.
Let me get on top of this because I don't want something crazy to happen. And now I have an awakening and it's like, no. Let me get up and be awake before anything crazy happens because you only get a certain amount of signs, man, before it's just, okay, that's just it. You get a couple, 1 strike, 2 strikes, 3 strikes, you out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of my friends strike out.
Yeah.
And I don't want to strike out. And it was like, yo, look, all this liquor, it started messing with my metabolic system.
Liver,
pancreas. You know what I'm saying? High blood pressure.
Ooh.
Now you got high blood pressure and you sit around eating salads. It don't matter. You did it. So when these young guys who are out here partying, I want them to know, when you get into your 40s, you'll start paying for that. You might be Superman now in your 20s. You think that you're going to get away with it?
It catches up to everybody. There isn't a person that'll escape it. I always say alcoholism is like the slowest form of suicide. You know, you drink long enough, you will get diabetes. You will die from whatever it is. It could be a car accident. It could be anything. All like the other stuff that could happen while under the influence because you're not in control. But you know, stroke, heart attack. You know, you name it. Like it's just inevitable. Cancer. Like you know, you drink long enough, all that shit's gonna happen. All of it. And only one of them has to for you to not breathe anymore.
Only one. It only takes one, baby.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we have to talk to each other more. That's why I'm happy to be here today, because we have to express this more as men too. It's not a gender thing, but as men, we do not talk enough about what we're going through with each other. And I want all my friends to know, and my loved ones and family, I'm here to support you.
I love that.
You can talk to me. You don't have to have a shallow conversation with me. If you're going through something real, I'm not going to judge you. We're going to talk about it, and I'm just going to support you.
In the quiet hills of Marin County, there's a place where healing begins. A place where alcohol or drugs no longer control your life. At Live Oaks Wellness, we offer compassionate, client-centered care for those struggling with addiction. Our licensed drug and alcohol detox and residential programs are designed to help you take the first step toward recovery with a team that truly understands the journey. You don't have to walk this path alone. At Live Oaks, we're here to help you rebuild, restore, and reclaim your life. Take the first step today. Live Oaks Wellness. Healing starts here.
Recently, 2 people, and I'm not going to put their names out there, entertainers, rappers, friends, killed them, unalived themselves. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Unalived themselves. And all I can do is remember the last conversation we had. One was like 2 weeks before it happened. We didn't talk about shit, bro.
Yeah, I was going to say no signs, right? Otherwise you would have been.
We didn't talk about, like, what we talked about means absolutely nothing. we laughed about a few songs that we heard that we thought was whack. You know what I'm saying? And you were going through that kind of pain to where you want to leave this earth.
Made a permanent solution out of a temporary problem.
Permanent solution out of a temporary problem. So that let me know. Now when I see anything, my friends online, hey man, they might post something that's kind of dark, or they might post something that suggests the mental health is in jeopardy, or even if they just post, I'm not feeling well today, I pick up the phone and call them like, yo, what's going on?
Yep. That's your sign.
Yeah, because we can't keep these things in all the time, and I hope this reaches my industry friends. Call me directly. Don't talk to me through the music and then say, well, I put it in a song. You didn't know I was going through that? Because that's happened to me too before.
That must be weird. And
it's like, okay, I listened to your music, bro, but I don't know, maybe you were channeling another time in your life, or, because I do that all the time. Maybe I'll go back and I'll be like, yo, you know what? I remember feeling this way. And then I write a song about it. Doesn't mean I'm feeling that way at the moment, but whatever it is, just let's talk directly about what's going on. Like, I almost want to build a platform for artists and musicians who are struggling with their mental health and don't want to open up to anybody because they've been taught to put on a mask and entertain everybody.
Yeah. I mean, listen, they have, they are their brand. You're your brand.
Right.
Right. You're your brand, and your brand's been doing great for the past 10 years. That's for damn sure.
Yes, sir.
But you probably didn't even realize it when you were younger, but when you're drinking, showing up to clubs and falling down or doing whatever, like that's also your brand,
Yeah.
And like, so your reputation is everything. People are so probably apprehensive to, I would just imagine, because I'm not like that, but I would imagine being in the limelight must be something that's very difficult in being able to share any kind of vulnerability whatsoever. And so like, I don't think it's a coincidence that you see a lot of movie stars, rock stars, anybody that's in the limelight that ends up, falling victim to either a drug overdose or killing themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't surprise me.
It doesn't surprise me either.
Yeah.
The pressures are terrible. Paparazzi sucks.
The pressure, man, to be this thing that people want you to be. You know what I mean? And it's like, to share every part of yourself. Dude, when you go in to make an album, I don't know if the listeners know this, but you're pulling pieces of yourself out. You only got so many pieces of yourself.
Mm-hmm. And you're showing it to everybody.
Like, some albums, depending on what the subject matter is, it's like you're walking through fire.
Mm-hmm.
To dig so deep into yourself and bring these thoughts and these feelings. Getting in touch with your feelings and articulating your feelings artistically, you gotta dig deep. And sometimes you giving up a piece of yourself.
Well, I imagine that just makes it that much worse when people scrutinize it, right? Or judge it, right? You literally are putting yourself out there for your fans, and then all of a sudden somebody comes with some bullshit.
Oh yeah, that's whack.
Yeah.
I hate that. That's garbage.
Yeah.
They're just like saying your child is ugly.
Right.
That's all they're doing.
Right.
Saying that you have ugly children. But
it must be horrible to feel, right?
Yeah.
Like you literally put your blood, sweat, and tears into this thing, and they're like, that sucks.
Because they don't even understand that,
don't.
Even when I was drinking in the booth, it's like, yo, I'm drinking too much, but this drink right now is bringing something out of me, and it's bringing something out of me creatively that I haven't had before. So I'm going to put myself in danger just so I can give this to the audience. And you give it to the audience, that shit is garbage. I almost died in there trying to give you this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So lack of appreciation.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, dog. But it's like, yo, you gotta really, I believe in the human connection. I believe that we're all connected, actually.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why you're driving a car, somebody's staring at you, you look right over at them.
Mm-hmm. You can tell when somebody's eyeing.
Mm-hmm. Because maybe it sounds like some metaphysics or whatever, and in the quantum field, and we're all connected through, whatever. But I do believe that. I think we need a deeper connection sometimes, especially with social media and the phone has removed us from talking with each other and gathering with each other. We just check each other's Instagram and say, oh, he's doing just fine.
If you ever do something that you were talking about, how you say you want to create a platform or something along those lines, let us know how we can help. Sincerely, that sounds like a good idea, honestly. Like, we lose too many talented, gifted people and just people in general. I mean, that's the thing. I always go back to, it's a human life, right? The human life is the most valuable thing on earth.
Right.
The dollar has nothing on human life
At all.
right? It doesn't mean anything compared to a human life. And we have no idea. These kids are dying from fentanyl overdoses these days. And we have no idea if they're the next Elon Musk or if they're the next president or if they're the next whatever. They could be they could be curing cancer or solving world hunger or doing whatever. Like, the life, we just have no idea. And people are getting taken out prematurely.
Yo, their light is being snuffed out.
It's terrible. It's hard. It's really hard to watch.
Fentanyl and the opioid crisis. These parents, I wrote a song, I never put it out, where I took fentanyl and made it into a woman. And this woman is very desirable and she seduces people. So what inspired that song is I was watching a documentary on fentanyl, and this was from the parents of addicts
That lost the kid.
they all lost their kids. Every parent on this particular documentary lost their kid to fentanyl. And when I saw that, it's Thanksgiving and there's an empty chair. That's where Tom used to sit. They're keeping the chair there for him, and everybody's looking over at his ghost and this drug.
Half the time they don't even go to use that drug. It's something else. It's just in there. That's the worst part.
Yeah.
The worst part about all of it is they went to go snort some coke, or, it could have been just partying on the weekend. It could have been a
Pop a pill or something.
A little perk or something, anything. And then it's a full blown fentanyl. Their bodies don't know how to handle that. That shit would kill a horse.
Kill a horse. These people are mixing it in so they can cut, double up the profits and things of that nature. And, and some of them just had an injury, got hooked on painkillers.
That's the worst.
You know what I mean? Now the doctor don't want to prescribe them any more painkillers, and they're addicted to them, so they go on the streets.
And they get heroin or they get whatever, and they get fentanyl. And, all that.
It's crazy.
We are in the midst of the worst drug crisis in U.S. history.
The CDC has named fentanyl deadliest drug in the United States.
The drug is fentanyl.
My name is Jeremy, and I'm a recovering fentanyl addict. I've overdosed more times than I can count. I believe I was revived so I could carry the message to the addict that still suffers. Silence makes you complicit. You either recover loudly or you die quietly. I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to help you save your own life.
Learn more at recoverordie.org.
Those are some of the saddest stories. Not that anyone's more sad than the other, but like, you see somebody that's got a promising career as an athlete, because those people are, God gifted as well, right? Like, these are the cream of the crop in whatever they're doing. And, they break a leg or they do something and then they get hooked on these pills and their life is over at that point, right? Like, they literally, like, what they were put on earth to do, well, or at least what it appeared, what they were put on earth to do, gets snatched from them by a drug, man. It's just, I mean, I could talk about it forever, how sad it is.
It is.
Yeah.
It's really a sad thing. And I think that the awareness is important. And, I'm tripping on all these bodybuilders and pro wrestlers and stuff coming out now that they're in their 40s and 50s and saying, yeah, we did a lot of steroids. Because I remember when it was very taboo to say that, I'm all natural. And food buff as hell. You know what I mean?
You know that's not true.
You know what I'm saying? But now it's like, you know, they're coming out and they're talking about it. I think we just got to talk and they're also saying it in a cautionary tale sort of way.
Sure.
Like, hey, look, I've done this and this is what's happening. I think we have to express ourselves. We have to communicate, bro.
Mm-hmm. I got this great quote that kind of ties into that, and I want to make sure I do it justice by reading it directly, but it's from Breen Brown. She said, one day you will tell your story of how you overcame what you went through, and it will be someone else's survival guide. You know, and like that's what I feel like we're doing here on the podcast, you know, having people tell their story, which is not an easy thing to do. This was very taboo 20 years ago as well, right? And you didn't want to tell people you were an alcoholic. It's a quote unquote embarrassment or whatever it is. It might be bad for your brand. You know, your publicist might be like, hey, you know, maybe don't talk about those things because people might be less likely to book you or something.
Right.
It's called recovering out loud, right?
Okay.
But it's become more of a trend a little bit, and I'm not ashamed of what I went through. I believe that there's a
What'd you go through, bro?
Alcohol. Yeah, I was a booze. I was towards the end there drinking a handle and a half a day, man. Yeah, I was on that vodka, but you know, I drank it all, man. I started off as a sophisticated Scotch drinker and you know, occasional beers, and I like the Champimple, and you know, I like to do all that, you know, on like special occasions. I remember Kentucky Derbies, drinking the mint juleps and like having themes and all that other shit. But like, you know, honestly, man, it got to the point where I used it like a drug. So I was just trying to get there, right? So it was just the vodka. And yeah, man, I blew up my life, and I had a career in finance prior to this, and then blew that up, you know, and not in the greatest way. But the cool part is, you know, the program that I work, there's a portion in which you get to go make amends to people. And so, you know, I've been able to do that. And that's like, you know, really awesome. That was one of the coolest things ever, because you find out that, like, you know, it's a behavior that you don't plan to ever do again. You know, hopefully, God willing, you know, that will never happen again. I mean, that's the quick story of it. You know? Right.
Yeah. Because you had to have gone through some real serious stuff to give birth to this platform.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, I didn't know what I was going to do. I'm not college educated, so I didn't know what I was going to do after finance. I had got my foot in the door at 18 with an internship, kind of climbing the corporate ladder a little bit, got to a place where I, you know, had a sustainable career, but alcohol would, you know, cut me to ribbons. So I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. And then, you know, it was suggested to me after I went to treatment that I would go to a sober living. And that's sort of where it all took off. I started really enjoying kind of helping mentor some of the younger guys in the house and doing that. And then I started working in the field, and then I was like, holy shit, like I really get a good feeling out of helping people. And that's really what we're trying to do here. It's just, when I got sober, all I wanted to do was shout from a mountain that, like, you know, this thing works.
Yes.
And it's possible, and it's like a superpower. And I wanted to tell everybody, but everybody always is like, you know, it's attraction rather than promotion. It's attraction rather than promotion. And I'm thinking to myself, people are dying out there though, you know? Yeah. And so it's kind of cool with the whole social media movement and other things and people recovering out loud that we get a chance to do this, because now I have my mountain. Now I have my mountain I could shout it from. You know, and if it reaches people, that's you know, I'm tickled. That's why I do it.
Yo, dog, one person.
Yeah, that's it.
You know what I'm saying?
That's it. Because we talk about the value of one life, right?
Yeah. When one person hits me on Twitter and on Instagram and Facebook, and they say, "Hey, man, your sobriety journey has influenced me, man. I'm 16 months clean." I'm like, yo, that's one of the best feelings ever. Yeah, I saw that one YouTube video with you and there was a young white guy that you were FaceTiming or something. Yeah. And it was recorded, and he was talking about how he was like, I think 18 months sober at the time or whatever. And he had a young daughter that he was trying to get his daughter back.
That's right.
And he was crying.
Yeah, man. He was super emotional, and you could feel it, man. I love the authenticity that happens when a couple of alcoholics get together, man.
Yo, that was Sober House. During COVID, I started a virtual, not an AA meeting, but just a place where people who were addicted to drugs or alcohol could come and tell their stories.
So instead of Slaughterhouse, it was Sober House.
It was Sober House.
I love it.
So I did it every Saturday on Instagram, and I you know, go live on Instagram, and I would pull people in, and they would tell their stories, pull people in and tell their stories, because the idea was during lockdown, that's the devil's playground.
I mean, it's full blown isolation. That's what we need to avoid altogether. And they were forcing us to.
They was forcing full blown isolation. And it was like, I was like, you know what? I bet you if we talk about it, you know, we can show some people some support out there.
They'll feel less alone.
They'll feel less alone. That's it, bro. Sometimes you just don't want to feel alone. You want to feel like somebody has gone through some of the things that you've gone through. You want to feel like somebody, you know, what you're saying resonates with somebody. So yeah, that dude that was classic, dude. People still hit me about that guy. Like, man, he just really, you know, all he wanted to do was see his daughter, man.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes you just don't think that your problem can tear up your family. You know, you just gotta really like step away and say, hold on, man, what are all the bad things that can happen with me being addicted to this alcohol, to this drug? What are, you know, if you even, man, bro, being in jail. Real quick story. I had a show on BET in 2015 called One Shot. Mm-hmm. I had stopped drinking, but I still was paying for the past, you know what I'm saying? Decisions that I made with alcohol. So this show I had called One Shot on BET was like I would say, for lack of a better example, like an American Idol for hip hop. We go to city, we find these artists. We found some artists, we put them on BET, which was Viacom, major network, major platform. These artists never been on something that big or that magnitude, and they were very happy. Mm-hmm. They were very happy. I looked out my hotel window, I looked into the parking lot. These young artists were dancing around, happy, smiling, taking pictures, you know, like, wow, we're going to be on TV, baby. We're going, we, you know.
They think they're hitting a home run.
Yeah, they thought they hit the home run. So, you know, it was one of the best days of my life. But we did that in New York, that was the finale of the TV show. We did the finale in New York, best day of my life. Next day, I had to turn myself in for a DUI. Ugh. Next day, bro. So it's like you go from one high to a low. Mm-hmm. You know, now I'm sitting in jail for 2 weeks. There's people in here having withdrawals from meth and this and that, and everybody's going crazy. And I'm just like, you know what? Alcohol put me here. And myself, my decision to pick that bottle up, and I knew I was going to go to jail that night. I knew I was going to get a charge that night, and I still did it. Because I got with a couple buddies in the rap game. You guys know who you are because you drink like fish. And I was like, oh, man, I'm hooked up with these dudes. I'm going to get a DUI tonight.
Sure.
You know, and sure enough, left Hollywood, got a DUI, went to jail, bailed out. Went to New York, shot the TV show, came back, and had to just sit and stew in my bad decisions.
I'm sure that gave you a lot of time to think, at least, though.
Yeah, it gave me some time to think, man. It was like, yo, you know what? I don't want to be here. So that was like,
was that the turning point?
That was one of the turning points. That was one of the big turning points for me, because I was also on my business. And when you're doing business in the music industry, you have to do a lot of, you know, calls to New York and London and all these places. In California, you know, when it's 9 a.m. here, it's 6 a.m. there. You know, I was missing
vice versa. Yeah, when it's 6 a.m. here and 9 a.m.
there. Yeah, so
they've already been up.
So
for a couple
they've already
hours.
been up.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm missing. I'm missing the 9 a.m. East Coast call. I'm missing this business call. I'm missing that because I'm hungover.
Yeah, and then it starts messing with your bread.
It starts messing with your bread, and a michelada ain't gonna fix it every single time. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, but you know, that was one of the things that really made me, because I really had to do another 2 weeks too after that. So the next time I had to do 2 weeks, I went to what they call a pay to stay. You can pay to have a better, quote unquote, jail cell.
No shit.
Yeah.
In California?
Yes. It's called pay to stay. It costs like $90 a day. Up to between $90 and $120 a day.
Shit.
So they take you to some nice neighborhood where they have like a holding cell somewhere, and you get to go in there, and some of them have TVs, and you can bring books and things of that nature. So when I did the other one for 2 weeks, I was like, I took KRS-One had a book called Hip Hop Gospel. I took that book in there and I read the whole book cover to cover. And when I got out and my little brother came to pick me up, you know, and I got my little plastic bag with my stuff and I got in the car, I was like, that's the last time, bro. You don't got to worry about that no more. And that was the last time. You know, it was just, it's not me. You know what I mean? You got to really know who you are. You know what I mean? And I thought I was being myself, but you can't be yourself unless you know yourself.
I was just going to get into that. So, you know, when you're describing the whole scenario that you were, when you were even saying like how you are on the road and there's bottles waiting for you and all this other stuff, it's like people can see it. When you're in your addiction, you can't see it yourself. Meaning like, I don't see what the problem is, man. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not doing any, like, yeah, I missed that, but you know, hey, everybody misses one occasionally. Or, oh, I didn't make that. And sorry, I missed your birthday. And sorry, I broke a promise and all these other things, but I didn't hurt anybody. You know, like I remember telling myself that. Yeah, you know?
All the time. I remember they told me if I got one more DUI.
How many do you have?
I only have 2, but we're down in LA and Southern California. If you get 3,
felony.
Yeah,
up here too. I got 2.
Okay, so yeah, see what I'm saying?
That was a big motivator for me. I was not trying to go to prison.
We live on the edge. We got the 2 and it's like up, but you know, so one night I was supposed to get my 3rd one. And you know, we got tricks, bro. You know what I'm saying? So when they pulled me over, I was coming from the studio. And that's another thing. In the studio, bottles stand tall, man. You know, we drinking everything in there. Mm-hmm. So I'm driving home from the studio, get pulled over. And they're like, yo, let's do the field test. And I'm like, well, I want to do the blood test. Because we were so far from the station that I figured
sober up a little bit.
I'll sober up a little bit by the time I get down to the station. And he was like, why do you want to do the blood test? I said, well, because what if I said, yeah, I did have a drink, but I don't think that I'm above the legal limit. And if it'll be up to your discretion. And I have a tour coming up in Canada, which I did. And I said, when you get DUIs, they will turn you around. Canada does not play that.
They don't play at all. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll turn you all the way around. And I said, yo, I'm going to lose a lot of money. You know, so I got to make sure that this is really, really that I'm, you know, above the legal limit before I can allow you guys to charge me and mess up my tour. And the police officer looked at me. He said, you know what? Why don't you just stop drinking and driving? I'm not going to even take you to jail tonight. Why don't you just stop drinking and driving?
That resonated, huh?
It resonated.
Yeah. Because you were like, holy shit, I got out of another one. But like, you felt that.
I felt that.
I mean, you almost had your whole career
in jeopardy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I don't want to be that dude.
No, I get it.
You know what I'm saying? I'm in jail for what? Because of a DUI. You know what I'm saying? I probably got to have 20 fights just because of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? My homies, they want to see me make it since I was a kid. Like, I got homeboys who actually would be like, who's stopping you from being successful? Because we need to go talk to them.
Yeah. Just get them out of your life.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I couldn't imagine doing that. Like, I know that'll be like a big disappointment to people who believe in me. And, you know, it did resonate with me. I sobered up so fast when he said that.
Oh, I bet.
Dog, I didn't have a drop in me when he said that.
That was pure adrenaline. That was like taking a bump.
Yeah. He was, because it was like, I'm going to jail for a year, period. Yeah. Minimum. I've already did 18-month programs and all that. Yeah.
Plus you're a celebrity, so at that point, they're going to make an example out of you.
They're going to make an example out of me. I'm going to look like a fool, and I'm going to jail for 12 months minimum. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And why? Because I wanted to drink Belvedere at the studio.
Oh man, I wish they had Uber and Lyft when I was drinking.
there's no excuse now, bro.
There's no excuse now.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on.
You can get a lift for $10.
$10. They're going to get, man, listen.
A drink is more than $10.
Yeah, you jump in a Waymo or something. I don't care. Just, that drinking and driving shit. How are the statistics with that? Is it going down since Uber and Lyft and all that?
I imagine it has. I honestly, to be honest with you, I haven't looked at any studies lately. I know some people that run some DUI schools that do that might have a better answer for you. I wish I had that, and I wish I could even pull it up while we're here on the computer or something, because now I'm curious. But but I would imagine it's gotten better.
It has to.
Yeah, I think so too.
I know we're dumb, but you know what I'm saying?
But we're attached to our phones, and Uber's an app, and it's just that.
It's right there.
I mean, it's not like a taxi where you're like, what's the number? Remember back in the day trying to remember what the fuck the cab number was?
And you couldn't.
And then you had to wait, and you didn't know. But at least with Uber, you can actually follow the car and how close it is.
Right.
So the way I see it is it's just always all right, well, I got 15 minutes. Well, just even knowing that it's 15 minutes away rather than have to wait on a cab. I just remember waiting on cabs and they suck.
That sucks. Yeah. You get to look at the car, seeing it's arriving and all that, see who's driving it. There's no reason for young people or any people, but especially this generation of young people, there's no reason for them to drive intoxicated. There's no reason.
I agree with that completely.
Yeah, there's no reason. Just get in an Uber, lock your car up. You come back the next day and pick up your car. Who cares? Yeah. You know what I mean? I wish I would have parked my car and I don't care if I would have walked home. You know what I mean? Because, you're taking L's that way. Because what happens? Then they put a clamp on your passport. You know what I'm saying? Or they try to, you do these I had a breathalyzer in my car, dog, to start the engine. You know what I mean? And I had the one that looked like a Sprite can. So people didn't know, you know what I'm saying? So it looked like a Sprite can in the cup holder.
You're like this, looking left, looking right. You got to blow into it. It's got to make noise, right? You're like, yeah. You got to say the alphabet while you're blowing into it.
Dog. And the police didn't even know. They was like, hey, wait a minute. Aren't you supposed to have a device in here? Ooh. And I was like, yeah, I have one. It's the Sprite can. They was like, oh, okay. We thought you were trying to be one of those guys. I was like, no, I got it in there, and it's nothing more embarrassing than picking up your friend or something saying, hold on, I got to blow into this. You know what I'm saying? To
Seriously,
start the car.
Huh?
It's what kind of decisions are you making?
Plus, if you're in a nice car, I think it voids the warranty too, I think.
Oh, man.
I think I had a buddy that had a newer ride, and he went to go put that thing in the interlock or whatever it's called.
Yeah, the interlock. Yes.
And then
and it's $100-something a month. Go ahead.
Yeah, they don't make it cheap. They got to make it as inconvenient as possible, right? The fees attached to it, all that stuff. It's got to sting somehow. If you're not going to go to jail and learn a lesson, they're going to make sure you learn one financially.
They are.
This segment of the Pull Podcast is brought to you by Heartwood Home Detox.
Let me tell you, bro, I was in there. There's this guy, shout out to Big Bear.
Big Bear.
Big Bear is from the First Nation. You know what I'm saying? I was taught not to say Native American. I was taught to say First Nation.
Okay.
So he's from the First Nation. He was a drug and alcohol counselor in my DUI class. He was on heavy drugs for 25 years, did a couple years in the penitentiary, and then got clean for 25 years. This dude was super real. Very, very inspirational guy. One day, a 19-year-old comes in our class. This 19-year-old accidentally ran somebody over and killed him. He's talking to Bear, and he's like, man, he just came out of nowhere. And he told Bear, Bear said, well, what's your attorney saying? He said, well, I don't have any offenses. I don't have no priors. And my record is clean, and I'm going to college, and I'm having a baby. And they're saying, if I get manslaughter,
5 years.
Maybe 5 years. And Bear is like, okay. And then a 19-year-old kid walks out the office. And I said, Bear, that's tough, man. That's tough that you have to sit here and, kind of console these people, And he said, you want to know what's tough? I said, what? I can't tell him the truth. I said, what? He said, because I will lose my job if I interfere with his legal, situation. He said, but he's not getting 5 years. He killed someone. He's going to do at least 10, 15 years.
At least, yeah.
And he said, but I can't tell him that or else I'll lose my job. And he said, that's what's fucked up.
Yeah. So now he doesn't get to see his kid for 15 years or whatever it is. And you see that it's that going back to that one decision, right?
One decision.
Yeah. Change your whole life.
Your whole life in one decision.
Yeah.
And we got to really make good decisions.
Well, I don't want to get too far off topic, but, I want to circle back to finishing some of your story. So what happened for you when you got sober? I mean, so you get sober and your career then takes a whole nother leap, right? Like when you get signed to Shady Records.
Shady Records comes in. It's a good thing. Eminem, he was in his sobriety journey when we signed to Shady Records. When I got to Shady Records, he was sober.
And were you?
When I got to Shady Records, I wasn't sober yet.
Okay.
It was around, I was like 3 years before I would be sober. But I'll tell you this, out of respect for M and his sobriety journey, whenever we recorded with Eminem, we wouldn't drink. We wouldn't smoke if that's what they do. If they're a pill popper, like everybody would just be sober for Eminem. So we wouldn't bring that around him.
That's respect.
While he's recording with us.
That's respect.
Yeah. And, Shady Records, we had the #1 hip hop album on the charts when we dropped.
For a long time.
And listen, bro, over the years, it's been selling. We had 2 more albums to give Shady. If we would have gave those 2 more and then possibly did like 2 more on our own independently with our own label, there's a good chance you'd be mentioned in Slaughterhouse in the same breath as some of the great rap groups of all time.
I already do.
Lyrically, I do too. But I know statistics and it's about getting buckets when you're on the court,
Yeah.
So, if we would have, but that Shady era put us on big stages. I was in Dublin. It was 50,000 people in the crowd.
Wild.
You know what I'm saying? 50,000. We went Japan, same thing. Everywhere we went. And it was like, M is a phenomenal superstar.
Mm-hmm.
He's he's
a whole nother level.
Yes. It's another put it this way. People that we think are superstars, they treat him like he's a super duper star compared to them. You know what I'm saying?
Say.
This dude sold hundreds of millions of albums. Hundreds.
Yeah. Diamond times 100.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? This dude is, and I love Marshall. He knows I love him. He's so down to earth. He works hard. You know what I'm saying? And, he's just a good guy, but he was 100% behind Slaughterhouse. And that did take our career and our name and our brand to another level. And, here we go again. Let's go. Alcohol. Let's get it. What? We don't have what? Why not? I can drink on the job. Mm-hmm. I have the kind of job that you can drink on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anything, it's socially acceptable.
It's socially acceptable for me to drink.
As long as you're not sloppy.
As long as you do your job and you're not sloppy. Matter of fact, we have a song called Frat House.
I know that song.
What are we doing in the frat house? You know what I mean? Like, we're on stage drinking. I used to do these freestyles called Tequila Vodka Henny.
That was on Beamer, Benz, and Bentley.
That was on Beamer, Benz, and Bentley. So this man knows, y'all. He knows. But so I would get blindfolded on stage at our concerts, and they would pour alcohol in different cups. And somebody, a random fan would come up to me and they would just pick a cup, and then I would drink it, and I would have to blindfold on and drink it, and then I would have to know what kind of alcohol it was and freestyle about that particular alcohol. So I would grab it. This tastes like Henny. Yeah, the color is brown like a penny. Blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? And then they would give me another one. Oh, this is tequila. And then I would go, and they'd give me another one. Ooh, this is vodka.
So that's where that came from.
Yeah.
Man.
So just think about how roasted you are on stage.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you just drunk tequila, vodka, and Hennessy. And now, okay, guys, let's do the rest of this hour-and-a-half show.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was really, alcohol was just plentiful, and it did damage, bro. I went from having bottles in my cabinet of alcohol and vitamin bottles on my dresser to no bottles of alcohol in my cabinet and prescription pills on my dresser because of what the alcohol did.
Mm-hmm. Blood pressure medication.
Cholesterol medication, just anxiety sometimes, because the side effects of the blood pressure medication makes it similar to a heart attack, so you get a panic attack because your heart is jumping all over your chest.
I was going to say, yeah, it's probably you're like at 120 beats just sitting still. And now you're thinking you're having a heart attack. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when I say it's not worth it, I'm not just saying that. You know what I'm saying? I'm really I'm almost begging and pleading with some of the young people who have a problem. If you have no problem, this is not for you. Right.
If you know how to go out and drink a beer and go home and just chill and that's it, you know how to take one drink and you're not trying to take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You just know how to stop. You know when to say when. Hey, this is not for you.
Right.
This is for people who don't know when to say when.
Yeah, we don't have moderation. That is not a word in our dictionary.
I'm drinking to get fucked up.
Mm-hmm. There's a purpose.
Yeah, I'm not drinking to have a little light buzz. Ha ha he he.
I never liked the taste of vodka. That was my get there juice.
Let's get there. Go up. You know what I'm saying? We trying to go up. We trying to get all the way there. And what are we doing? What are we escaping something? What's the root cause for this turn up?
Well, that's where the therapy that you were talking about comes in, right? I mean, until you start doing the work, we like to call it the work, because the pull, which is why the podcast is called that, is always there. It's like the itch that needs to be scratched, right? It's that subtle pull that like wants you to go back to your, what you know. Because let's be honest, it's the easiest, quickest way to fix whatever's going on up here.
Yes. Oh yeah.
However, the consequences that come afterwards are detrimental.
Bro, I was sick this year. I was sick for 2.5 months straight.
Jesus, you all right?
Yeah. I was sick for 2.5 months straight. People don't even know that. 2.5 months of going to heart specialists, lungs, MRIs, x-rays, blood work, lab work, urine work. 2.5 months of feeling weak. Like I couldn't even pick up this fucking can.
Weird.
It hit me. I didn't know what the fuck it was. We were trying to figure it out. People didn't even know. You know what I'm saying? Nobody even knew. When I say, I know this shit has something to do with alcoholism.
But it's been 10 years, right?
That's why I was like, hold up. Am I not absorbing? Did I fuck up something that I can't even absorb the vitamins and minerals like I'm supposed to be absorbing them?
Did you ever find out what it was?
No. My doctors, they still don't know what it was.
But you're feeling better.
I'm feeling way better.
Good.
I started dieting some more because I've never been a super just crazy eater, but I can gain weight like that, but I've never been a crazy. So I started meditating.
There you go.
And I started doing breathing exercises.
You ever do Wim Hof?
Wim Hof, cold plunges.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I started, and I couldn't do much because I was fucked up. So I couldn't do much, but I did whatever I could do.
You got to start somewhere. That's the other thing, right?
Yeah.
Anybody listening, like nobody's telling you got to run a marathon tomorrow, but take a lap.
Yo,
The next day, take two.
take two. And I was in that ER. They poking on me with everything, laying in that bed with the damn IV, and they going crazy trying to figure out what's the hell's wrong with me. I was at rock bottom again. When I came home, I looked at a couple bottles of wine that was just been sitting there collecting dust.
Christmas gifts or something.
Yeah. And I'm like, I almost cracked that wine open, bro. So when you get into a dark place and you're on your sobriety journey, you can come out of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can come out of it. Nobody's going to be honest with you guys. I had a problem, but I didn't know I had a problem until I knew I had a problem. I had to really ask myself, wait a minute, I have to have an issue because I have 2 DUIs.
If that's not evidence enough, right? That's all the evidence you need, but there's more.
But there's more. There's stuff that's going to the grave with me.
Yeah.
That's how it is. But when I hit rock bottom with my health, my mind started fucking with me. Like, oh, you're not going to ever get in that booth again, homie.
That's scary.
Yeah.
I would imagine that's sort of like what an old person feels like when they know like end of life is coming.
And you know what? I went to therapy.
You get the fuckets.
Yeah, I went to therapy, and my therapist and I unwrapped something that I didn't even know was in me. My uncle, my father's brother.
He helped raise you, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He died of cancer. He was the Inglewood Fire Department. He was the fire chief. Call him Chief Lee. He died when he was 50.
He's the one you wrote about in Goodbye.
He's the one I wrote about in Goodbye. That song is very close to my heart because it's real. And his death really, really hurt me. And as I'm getting closer to 50, I started thinking that I would probably go at 52. It was buried in me. Therapy brought it out.
So it's this fear that you didn't even really know because you're probably trying to man up and still handle business.
It was a fear that I didn't even know I had. But when we started unpacking things and unpacking things and unpacking things and it came up, it was like, oh shit.
Better deal with that.
I got to deal with that because I'm in his position now. He was the man in the family.
You're the patriarch now.
Yeah. And as I get closer, and now I'm sick for 2 months, and I'm thinking, what if that's it for me?
Mm-hmm.
What if I got a couple years left on this planet and that's it?
That's scary. That's why it's important to treat every day like it's your last, I don't know. I hear that it sounds trite sometimes because like, what are you going to do? Go bungee jumping and skydiving and all that other shit, right?
Yeah.
Like if it was my last day on earth, I don't know what I would actually do.
Yeah.
But it sounds like we caught you at the right time when we reached out to you because
Yeah.
you seem like you're in a good place of like a lot of gratitude. And you got to be able to appreciate today because not everybody woke up today.
You better believe it.
I say that all the time.
Yo, bro, that is the realest ever.
When I wake up in the morning, honestly, at least the past, I don't know, at least couple of weeks, because I'll just be honest, I'm not always like that, but like the past couple of weeks, I've opened up my eyes and I've been like, thank you for another day.
Thank you for another day. Listen, that's so real because now I'm grateful for everything because, it was hard for me to walk up my stairs in my house and now I can just jog up them. And it's like, that's incredible to me. Like, I'm grateful for the smallest things.
Well, that's the other part I wanted to talk about is because like you could take that illness and play a victim role, but if you look at it as like, and we never know in the moment, but in retrospect, looking back on it, it allowed you to have a newfound appreciation for life, right?
Yes.
And so that's the other thing is like if somebody's out there and you're going through something or it feels like things are tough, just know that in a couple of months maybe you're going to realize why you had to go through that.
Yeah.
And listen,
Yeah.
and if you did something about it, I'm big on action.
Yeah.
We always talk about action on here. You got to be about your business. You got to show up for life. You got to do what's in front of you. It's the stagnation that'll kill us. You show up and have action, your life will get better.
Your life will get better because I'm figuring like, I know I got high blood pressure. I know that deals with the vessels and being closed and my circulation in my body. So I figured let me meditate, let me do breath work because these things are going to improve the circulation in my body even until we figure out what's going on with me. It's damn sure not going to be that I don't have good circulation because everything that takes for me to do that, I'm going to do that. So,
yeah,
it was eye opening and it was, it showed me that there's still levels to me. You know what I mean? Because I could have easily, bro, cracked open that wine and said, all right, that's cool. Now let me go on down to the store and get me some whiskey or some Jameson. You know what I mean? I could have easily did that, bro. But I fought that demon off. I fought that demon and that demon got slayed.
Yeah, good
right there in the kitchen.
Do you ever reach out to M when you got that stuff going on?
I got a homeboy who I can call up and be like, yo, dog, I almost pulled the trigger on some bullshit today. You know what I'm saying? But I talked to M when I was sick though. I did. And he was like, dog, what? And I was like, yeah, dog. I said, I don't know what it is. I was filming a TV show called Beats and Bars. And they had to carry me out of there.
Couldn't even make it through the
couldn't even make it through the whole filming.
That's odd.
It's crazy. It was crazy, but now doing much better. Get up in the morning, walk 5 miles, come home, do some more, stay active, keep my mind busy. And, then I sit still.
Yeah.
And I meditate and I sit and that's the part. We need these things that we used to think were corny. People were really Hokages and they were like a sage when they said, do this and do that. The elders, they knew what was good for us. You know what I mean? Cause I got homies that go do yoga now. You know what I'm saying? Like you could never catch a homie doing yoga back in the day.
That sounds funny. I'm just picturing the visual.
But I know some that, they parents and got careers.
Sure.
And it's like, yo, listen, man, therapy is good for you. Meditation is good for you. Wim Hof, breath exercises, 4-4-8, whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? That's good for you. Eating right is good for you. We're going to do our little thing every now and then because we're humans. Whatever, but everything in moderation, Mm-hmm. And I think that was one of the most shiniest gems and jewels that ever landed in our laps. Everything in moderation. That was really the truth.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because if I could have took that mindset into drinking, I probably would have never had none of those DUIs. And trust me, I dog, you ever drove home drunk and don't know how you made it home?
Yeah. And then wake up and then look at your car and it's sideswiped. Missing a side view mirror. How'd that happen? I don't have any recollection. I'm peeking out the blinds like when are the cops coming because somebody's seen that.
Bro, how did you get home? Like muscle memory.
Right. The last memory I had was at a party and all of a sudden I wake up in bed and it's a different house.
And it's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
And we didn't kill anybody.
Yes.
Thank God.
But that's the whole thing, bro. Like you're only gonna get so many times, and then you're out. So waking up is a good thing.
Yeah.
Wake up and whatever it takes, get the support. You know what I mean? Get the support groups are great. Shout out MC Search. I remember he was doing a virtual AA meeting. He was doing it. I popped in there one time and, we were talking and all that. It was beautiful, man. It's a beautiful thing to communicate the things you're going through with people who understand and feel you and who say things that you can understand and feel.
it's a good reminder that we're not alone. It also is a good reminder that we're not different, or we're not broken, or we're not whatever. Like, a lot of people go through the same things we do. That was like the greatest thing. I thought I was the only one with these like deep, dark secrets or whatever. Mm-hmm. And when I heard people making jokes about them in the rooms of recovery, I was like, oh, okay, I found my people. I belong. And not just that, but as evidenced by your career and evidenced by what I've experienced in my life, is that sobriety is an absolute superpower.
Sobriety is, first of all, driving down the street and knowing the police are never going to pull you over for drunk driving.
It's a good feeling.
That's a great feeling. That's one more thing off my list. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
one less thing I got to worry about.
One less thing that I have to worry about. I can pass by the police and they would totally be on some bullshit if they fuck with me now, because I'm dry, I'm sober, I'm paying attention to the traffic laws, all that. And so that's one less problem that I got to worry about. And it feels great to know that, hey, that will never happen. I don't never have to worry about that again in my life.
That's worth it right there.
That is worth it. That's a superpower.
That's a superpower.
So sober people have all these superpowers that we never knew about until we got sober.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But I also just feel like just being clear-headed and, I don't know, focused. The fact that I have a program of action leads me to like always, whatever the next thing is, I call it the next right thing, whatever the next right thing is to do. It's allowed me to accomplish more things in my life than I thought I was ever capable of. Mostly because I stay present, and
congratulations.
I'll look back at a day, because I always try to review my day at night before prayer and all that other stuff. Is that like, I'll look at a day and I'll be like, man, I accomplished a hell of a lot. Like, there's no way I could have done that if I was drinking. Even if it's just like small shit, I'll be like, I got my laundry done. I cleaned my house. Yeah. I did all that. I'm not talking about just business stuff. Yeah. I'm talking about like life stuff.
Life shit.
Yeah.
No, congrats on that, bro, because you're absolutely right, man. Like, not drinking gave me more time to try to get in touch with the best version of myself. You know what I mean? And like, when I was drinking, I would have never said, hey, you know what? I need to improve my communication. I would have never said no shit like that.
I would have never been like, maybe I should have a salad.
You know what I'm saying?
I was like pizza.
Oh, yeah. What? Come on, dude.
Maybe I should try some Wim Hof breathing. I never said that shit.
I would have never. I don't even think alcohol allows you to say that. You can't form the fucking sentences.
No.
But it's like really like exploring how, I always thought I was an effective communicator because I'm a songwriter. But there's so many levels to communication that when I started to really go down that rabbit hole and trying to sharpen my communication skills, it improved everything in my life. It improved the relationships, my business relationships. It improved, forget those. It improved my relationship with people in my family that I love. I understood that I can't communicate with this one how I communicate with that one. I understood the body language. I understood how to just be quiet. I understood when to speak. I understood all these different things. That shit would have never happened if I was still drinking, bro.
No way.
I don't got time for that shit.
Once you get sober, you're on a path of mastering life, which you'll never truly master.
Right.
But at least you're making strides in that direction.
Yeah, because when you get to the pearly gates, you want to be the best version you can be of yourself.
I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be some fucked up, nobody wants to do that. So my thing is, like you said, bro, not drinking has opened up a lot of time. And because drinking snowballs, when you're drinking, you might meet somebody and give them your number that you would have never gave your number to if you were sober. You might not even have been in that same location if you were sober. Mm-hmm. So now you give your number to somebody and now you're meeting up with people and you're doing a lot of shit because of the fucking alcohol and you're not realizing it.
Yeah.
And it's like
your spidey sense is down too, right? Your intuition. You're not in touch with your intuition. And then all of a sudden, like, you're letting bad people in your life, whatever it is. And that snowball you talking about, it's going downhill.
It's going downhill. How you going to go uphill, with a downhill lifestyle? You know what I'm saying? You're never going to.
Not possible.
It's not possible. You can't climb up. and you letting bad people in your life, do you know how detrimental that is? That's some real shit when they say, show me the 5 people you talk to the most and I'll tell you how far you're going to go in life. That's some real ass shit.
That's some real ass shit.
You know what I'm saying? Because you got all these negative people around you and everybody's trauma bonding and everything is victimhood and we just all stewing in our fucking misery. Where the fuck are we going to go in life?
Dude, I do not have time for negative people.
Dude, let me tell you, I'm so sensitive to things in the world now that I can get sick physically from a low vibrational fucking conversation.
Yeah.
If people are talking about other people bad or that, you know, they're just talking about shit that don't have anything to do with positivity, I can get physically sick and be like, yo, I gotta get out of here.
I don't feel well.
I don't feel good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not a gardener in the war. I'm a warrior in the garden. So in my backyard in the garden, you know what I'm saying? I'm back there getting in touch with myself, getting in touch with nature. I think nature is a big fucking part of the human experience that we need to make sure we don't cut out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm back there getting in touch with all that shit and trying to go to a different level of self because the brain is powerful. The spirit is powerful. You know what I mean? And it's like, I would drown all that out with whiskey.
Yeah.
That's all drowned out.
Yeah. It's unachievable while you're under the influence.
Unachievable, bro. Only thing you're going to achieve is shit that you regret.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to wake up with all these regrets. Oh man, what did I say to that person? Damn, I got to call and apologize, man. I went crazy last night. I wasn't myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Not to mention the fact that you probably woke up 3 hours, 4 hours after you would have if you did drink.
Yo, listen, we got to get right. You know who helped me out a lot from a distance just watching an interview? Will Smith.
Oh, because he doesn't drink, cuss, or any of that stuff, right?
Yeah. Will was like, I forget the whole story.
He slapped Chris Rock, though.
Man. Yo, listen. I wonder if it was that stage, but anyway.
Yeah, me too.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But
that seemed out of character. Anyway.
So he said, I think it was Tom Cruise talking to him, but I forget the story. But the story goes like a bigger star than him. He was becoming a movie star. Mm-hmm. And the bigger star was like, yeah, you're a movie star, but you're not a superstar. You know, what do you mean I'm not a superstar? Yeah, you're a movie star. You're not a superstar. And he started naming the things that would be happening if he was a superstar. And Will Smith said, I had to go home and remove everything from my life that was blocking my path to superstardom. So I removed partying. I removed alcohol. I removed negative people. And he said I had to keep them removed for 12 years. And then I became a superstar.
Wow.
And I said, man, this man dedicated himself for 12 years straight without drinking and without doing things that he liked to do to achieve his goal. Now, what kind of person are you, Dominic Crooked Eye? What kind of person are you? Are you the kind of person who could take an action like that? And I said, fuck yeah. So I can do that.
I was going to say, you've pretty much done that.
Yeah, I'm almost 10 in. You know what I'm saying? And I feel great.
Good.
And I do want to tell people like, yo, if I was drinking, bro, I'd be out of here, bro. I wouldn't have survived that. Whatever that shit was that hit me for 2.5 months, I'm not going to survive that with a fucking weak ass immune system because I'm drinking every fucking night.
Yeah, it could have turned into something worse, right? Pneumonia, anything.
Bro, that should be, you know what I mean? So I understand that you're right. It's a superpower. I was able to rap the next day when I stopped drinking. It wasn't like, oh, I'm not going to be able to get in my zone. I was fooling myself.
Yeah, it's the thing. It's what your disease tells you to stay alive. That's what I believe.
Like a virus whispering in your ear.
Bro, that's what it does, man. That's what it does. It tells you it's only one, just one. It's not going to be one.
It's no way. It's like Lay's. Can't eat just one.
It's like Lay's. It's like Lay's, but really bad for your liver.
Don't get fatty liver. Fuck, dude. Like, What do I look like drinking one fucking shot of fucking Jameson? That sounds crazy to me. But I was able to retire my jersey and say, hang it up in the rafters.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah, you went pro early, retired early, and now you got the rest of your life ahead of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm happy.
Well, listen, I'm super happy that you're happy, and I'm glad you're on the show. And honestly, the fact that you're getting up, doing 5 miles a day, all that stuff, glad you're in Sausalito. Hope
Yes,
you and
sir.
your wife have a great time here for the
Yes,
weekend,
sir.
man. It should be fun, beautiful weather.
Yes, sir.
You know, I would say one last quote maybe for somebody that might be struggling right now. If you could say something to somebody, what would it be?
Call somebody.
There it is. That connection.
I would say call somebody because I really, in real life, lost 2 people struggling with mental health and other things. And our last conversation was so shallow that it hurts my heart to think about. And it makes me sad that they didn't just pick up the phone and call me.
Yeah.
Call somebody. People care about you. Even sometimes you don't even know how deeply people care about you. Call them, talk to somebody, pull up on somebody, find something online that resonates with you, a group, join up. Human connection is very important. Communication is very important. My homies didn't have to die.
Yeah.
They did not have to die. I have ways in my phone that I could have helped them with the touch of a button.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have to go. One left a note, and just from the note, I know he felt alone. You don't have to feel alone. Please talk to someone. I don't care who it is. If they care about you, communicate with them.
Sage advice from King Crooked.
Yes,
Thank you
sir.
again for being on the show, sir.
Thanks for having me,
It's been a
man.
pleasure.
It's been my pleasure, man. Had a great time.
God bless you.